So once again, home fans can expect a frustrating time over the coming days, with the prospect of a British champion looking as unlikely as ever, perhaps with the exception of Andy Murray. The last Briton to win Wimbledon was Virginia Wade back in 1977, but it's been a full 71 years since we've had a men's champion, Fred Perry, back in 1936. Well, with me in the studio, a man who's campaigning to encourage more youngsters to take up the game by making tennis free to play. He was a successful junior player himself and beat the entire Moldovan football team at tennis following a drunken bet. Here's the comedian and author Tony Hawks. Tony, thank you very much. It looks like you've come straight off the tennis court as it is.
I wish I had been playing, but it's a bit rainy, so I haven't.
But you are really passionate about the game of tennis, aren't you?
Yes, I am, and I had an experience. I played tennis in America in a park, and it was free, and someone was organising games and helping people to play. And I came back and I thought I'll do a bit of research on this, and we've got about 30,000 park courts around the country. A lot of them are padlocked, a lot of them there's a charge, £5, £6, sometimes more an hour. And I thought, well, why don't we address this? If we're going to really get people playing at grassroots, trying this game out, they're not going to fork out for this. And we need to give them a bit of help, try and get them to play, give them some basic instruction. So we need an initiative to make that happen.
We've got a fairly new, well, a year-old, all singing, all dancing Lawn Tennis Association, the governing body in this country of the sport. Why are they not taking on initiatives like this?
Well, they say they're going to. They're forming a new British Tennis Foundation, and I think they're serious about wanting to do it. I mean, my job is to bully them and say, come on, look, let's do it quicker and let's perhaps spend more than you're planning on spending, but it's all being talked about.
Are they listening to you?
They are listening, yeah, and I think it is really moving in the right direction. But I think some people within the Lawn Tennis Association still haven't grasped this idea that tennis as a sport is unfairly treated. Because very often they'll take a tennis court where they used to charge £5 for it, get rid of it, spend money, turn it into a skateboard park and make it free. And you want to say, look, come on, let's campaign to make the tennis courts free. Yeah. I'm not sure that it should be an area where councils see it as a bona fide place to generate income. Yeah. People are exercising and the government want people to exercise more. Don't tax it. Make it free, encourage people.
Would you like to see the LTA divide up the funds that it receives? I mean, from Wimbledon alone, it's a huge chunk of money. And that does seem very much to go to the top end of the game. And we've got this £39 million centre at Roehampton, for example.
I think this has always been a problem. Because we're desperately trying to find the champion, and it's a short-term rush to try and find the champion, we bung a load of money at the top 10 players, top 10, whatever, and try and make them into champions. If actually you could say, well, let's look at this over 20 years. What have we got? We've got 30,000 fabulous resources around, well, not fabulous, but we've got resources around the country in parks. Let's generate that. Let's get new people playing the game who perhaps might not play tennis, get little competitions going in them, and take the cost away. I think they'll have real depth in tennis, which is what Spain has and France has. We just don't have the depth. So when Andy Murray gets injured, what's below it? Yeah. Nothing. But it's not a quick fix.
The thing is, campaigns like this have been talked about for years. Every year Wimbledon comes along, we have similar conversations. We hear from the LTA or whoever the chief executive is, it's Roger Draper now, who say, well, we are making inroads, we are making progress. We heard this from his former incumbent. And yet, have you noticed any change in the state of British tennis over the past, say, 3 decades?
Well, no, because they don't change it in parks, because all the initiatives they do go into clubs. Now, most people in Britain don't go into tennis clubs. They don't experience the tennis is all hidden. The tennis clubs are usually tucked up behind some houses somewhere. Parks are all... The worst advert for British tennis is when there's a net down and glass on a court and no one's playing on it. Yeah. That's a terrible negative advert for their sport. For me, they've got to get out there, they've got to spend some serious money and put some effort into regenerating that and making it look like a game that kids will want to play, because it's great fun.
You were a successful junior. Why haven't you taken on the mantle of being Britain's number 1, 2 or 3?
This is when people knock Tim Henman, I always say to them, he is unbelievable, because I tried to play. I was only number 2 in Sussex. Henman was number 4 in the world at one point. So we've got a bit of we knock people too much in Britain. These people, Andy Murray, Tim Henman, they're fantastic achievers and they should be our heroes, really. And we knock. I don't think it's the end of the world if we don't get a Wimbledon champion in the next 71 years. What is a disaster is that our tennis courts are empty and there's an unfair charge on them.
And just briefly, I know that you've launched Tennis.
Yes, a fantasy tennis.
Fantasy
game.
tennis, that's the word I'm trying to think of.
Actually, people can enter today and they could win a free £1,000 holiday. All they've got to do is go to TFF, which is for tennis for free, tffdreamteam.com, and they pick 10 men and 10 women, and they have great fun watching Wimbledon, see who wins the most number of games throughout Wimbledon, and they could win a holiday. So I'd advise people to get on there, because you don't get much for nothing these days.
Absolutely. Tony, thank you so much for coming in, and I hope the campaign, makes some mileage, certainly over the coming fortnight.
Thank you.
Thanks very much indeed. There we are. That's it from London for now. Let's rejoin Adam in Manchester.